in under 24 hours. My name is Evan Ettinger, and if you're unaware, I upload new videos on my YouTube channel every.
All right. I don't know if I am live or not. Somebody put something in the chat. I can't tell, but hopefully this worked. I have no idea what that was. Have no idea what that was. So I don't know if I'm here, if I'm live, if I'm not. Somebody tell me. I don't know if I'm the only one here. I might be the only one. Oh, yay, you're live. Yay! Great. I have no idea what that was. I got nothing. I've literally been online all friggin' day and no issues. And then I get to YouTube and it's there. So I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing. And then it told me it was stream. Anyway, let me see if I can make it so you can see my screen. That's what I've got to do. Your luck has been the worst. Oh, well, don't worry. I will get you there. I'm trying to see is allow what boop yep. I don't know what that was. Let's see. Tertiary display. Nope. There we go. Yay. Now I can do questions. Boom. You should be able to see the questions now. Yay. Ugh. I hate that happened. I'm sorry, guys, but I got you now. I got you now. Unfortunately, you see my whole screen, but we'll go through it. We'll just go and, I don't know, guys. Let me see if I can make this bigger for you all so you're not reading it as small. Let's see if I zoom in. Is that, that's a little bit too big, a little bit too big. There we go. Think that helps. Boom. All right. A trust deed may be released from the records by what? A trust deed may be released from the records by what? Is it A, a title report, B, a recording the note, C, payment in full, or D, recording a reconveyance deed? What says you? All right, we got D, we got lots of D's. Also a release deed. I see you, Elena. Lots of D's. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Stacy. Sorry, that was just so weird. Ugh, so weird there. But yes, our answer is D. Recording a reconveyance deed. Recording a reconveyance deed helps if I click on the right thing. Boom. Why is this? Hey, Trix. Boom, shakalaka laka boom. I see you, Trix. So, why is this the right answer? Because we're talking about a trust deed. Remember, in a title theory state, that borrower literally gives title to the home to the trust. And now the trust needs to give the title back. They're reconveying title. That's why that's the right answer, and we love it. All right, let us go to our next question. Jane saw a property that was $900,000 in town and then found a property that had the same use, design, and income in the next town over for $600,000. Because of the price, she purchased the home in the next town over. This would be the principle of what? Hey, Doug, I'm glad you're here now. Thank you. I don't know what that was. I swear, I don't know. Jane saw a property that was $900,000 in town, then found a property that had the same use, design, and income in the next town over for $600,000. Because of the price, she purchased the home in the next town over. This would be the principle of A, contribution, B, substitution, D, progression, or C, progression, or D, regression. Which one is it? All right, I got B's, I got lots of B's, B's in the trap, B's in the trap, B's in the trap, B's in the trap. All right, so you all are telling me the answer is substitution. Obviously, since you all are geniuses, that is the answer. It's the idea that you're substituting a similar property for a cheaper property. Great. But we also know that the test could ask you about contribution or progression or regression. So, are we all sure what those words mean? Is everybody good on the definition of contribution, progression, and regression? How do we feel about that? We feel good about that? Yes? I'm hoping so. Do I need to go over any of those? Can I review? Yes, of course I can review. Of course I can review. So contribution. Contribution is the concept that you can add things to a property to make it better, but what you add is going to be taken, like how much value the addition gives or brings is taken into consideration as to what you're adding to. So let's say we have a pool, an in-ground pool. That in-ground pool might add $30,000 worth of value if you added it to a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathhouse, right? That's what it might add. But you add that same pool to a, let's say a trailer or a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, just small itty bitty house. It's not going to add $30,000. It may only add like $15,000. It's all, you can contribute to the value, but it's all taken into consideration as to what you're taking it into value on, like what you're adding the value to, right? Then you've got the idea of progression and regression. And I think that you all have it. Elena has it in the chat. Progression is when a property is surrounded by nicer homes, and now that property is worth more simply because it's near nicer properties. And regression is when you have a property surrounded by properties that are not so nice, and because you're surrounded by not so nice properties, that value goes down. So there's that. All right, so hopefully that makes sense, and let's roll on to our next question. It's okay if you didn't remember right away. That's why we're here now. So, next one. The total collection of rights, which may be claimed by private ownership, is best described as what? The total collection of rights, which may be claimed by private ownership, is best described as, is it A, the bundle of rights? Is it B, freehold? Is it C, an estate? Or is it D, the fee simple system? What say you? A, B, C, or D? Okay, you all are giving me A's. We're getting A's. Trix says you don't want the nicer home. Okay, I got you, Trix. Is there an acronym for the bundle of rights? Ooh, I use one for an acronym for the bundle of rights, but can any of you all come up with one? Is there a mnemonic device, a way to remember the bundle of rights? All right, Stacy's giving me an A. Is there an acronym for the bundle of the rights? Of the rights? Elena says DEPC, which I say the same thing, except I call it deep sea. There we go, Deborah. Deborah's got it, deep sea. So first, we know that the answer is the bundle of rights. Like, we know that. But let's go through and talk about what they are. What are those bundle of rights? So what does the D stand for? What do the 2 E's stand for? What do the P's stand for? And what does the C stand for? Remember, when you're studying, you don't want to just study, oh, this is what the answer says. Like, I mean, I see what it says here. Oh, the bundle of rights contain all of the rights. Yeah. But let's go over what that means. So the D stands for disposition. Disposition. What do we mean when we say disposition? Well, we mean you have the right to transfer it, to sell it. Now, I know there's a lot of you that are trying to take notes at the same time, so let me see if I can switch over to camera, boop. What? That didn't work. I was trying to get you to go over to my iPad, but let's see. There's my iPad. Yay. All right, let's see what this Deep C stands for. Deep C stands for. Don't mind the scrolling. Don't mind the scrolling. Oh, so many acronyms, guys. So many acronyms. Here we go. The right of disposition, the right of enjoyment, the right of exclusivity, the right of possession, and the right of control. This is Deep C. This is our bundle of rights. What do you get? The right of disposition. So you get to decide where it goes, how it's going to go, things like that. You know, like, do I want to sell it? Do I want to give it away? Do I want to keep it? The right of enjoyment. This means that you have the right to use it without somebody knocking on your door every day saying, oh, it's mine. Or if you were in leasing situation, hey, we want to see and make sure that everything is good right now. Like, The right of exclusive possession, that's the E and the P, means that you have the right to live there or use it to, to the detriment of, not to the detriment, but exclusive from other people. It's kind of like when you go buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks. If they call your name, if Casey orders the Starbucks and they say, Casey, your coffee's ready, she's not expecting all of us to take a sip before she gets the coffee. She gets exclusive possession, and that's true. If you're renting, you're living there, not somebody else. And then the right of control. Hey, Antonio. Hey, Antonio, how are you doing? And the right of control is the right to, do what you want to do with it. So hopefully that helps. All right, let's go back to our questions. Boom. Which of the following items is a cost of home ownership? I'm good. I'm glad you're good. Yay, I'm good. You had a little bit of a freak out with the first, trying to do the first setup with YouTube. Was not playing well, but now I think we're good. I think we're good in Sandbox. So, which of the following items is a cost of home ownership? Is it A, a loss of interest on the owner's equity? B, appreciation of improvements, C, amenity value, or D, land appreciation? Ooh, what say you? A loss of interest on the owner's equity, appreciation of improvements, amenity value, or land appreciation? Now, of course, if you don't know the answer, you are welcome to say E, I have no clue. All right. Let's see. We got an A. We got A's. We got A's. We got A's. So Doug says equity is idle cash. Stefan says A. Got more A's. A. Celso says A. Now, I know we got like 20 some odd people answering. Oh, A for apple pie. I see you. Go ahead and put your answer in the chat. Or if you don't know, make sure you say, Candace, I need an explanation. And that way I can explain. All right. Alicia said E for Alicia. I need help. I need help. Antonio says, I don't know either. All right. Juana says E. I like that name, Juana. Juana says E. All right. So let's see if the people who did answer are correct. Is our answer E, a loss of interest on the owner's equity? Boom, shakalaka laka boom. Yes, the answer is A. We love it. We love when we get questions right. So let's talk about it. It's saying one of these items is a cost of home ownership. So it's something that when you pay out money, it's a cost. It's a cost to do something. Well, if we look at B and D, appreciation of improvements, and land appreciation is not a cost. It's money you've gained. It's money you've received. So it can't be B or D. That left us with A or C. A, our answer, loss of interest on the owner's equity. Well, the equity is the money that you have in the property that doesn't go to you if you were to sell it, right? If the market goes down, so does the value of your house. Yeah, that's a cost of doing business. think about it this way. We know, like during COVID, some of the prices for houses were out of this world. If you bought your home at the top of the market when houses were most expensive, you look back 2 or 3 years later and the houses aren't worth as much. You've lost equity. Now, amenity value is just the amenity value. It didn't say appreciation or depreciation. It's just a statement. That's not our answer. Our best answer that is actually going to be a loss of money to you, a cost, would be a loss of interest on the owner's equity. There you go. Let's see. Does it have anything to do with a reverse mortgage? So, not really. I mean, let me say this. You do lose equity in a reverse mortgage. And let's talk about why. Let's talk about why this is. We know a reverse mortgage. Oh, that's the math I was doing. In a reverse mortgage, you have to be older than 62. Let's say you own your house and it's worth, $450,000. And you have full equity. That's a TY. There we go. Well, what happens in the reverse mortgage, just writing it out, is every month in January, maybe they send you a check for $3,000. This is going from the bank to the homeowner. And then in February, they're going to send you a check for $3,000. And then in March, they're going to send you a check for $3,000. And then in April, they're going to send you a check for $3,000. They go on and on and on and on. And then finally, the person who got the reverse mortgage either sells the property or, sadly enough, they die. Actually, that should be X's, huh? At that point, let's say there were 17 months where the bank sent them a check for $3,000. That means if I do 17 times 3,000, that's $51,000. Now that person has died, $51,000, when the heirs go to sell this, they have to lose. They're going to lose $51,000, and they're going to gain the difference. So that's going to be what? $399,000. That is now the equity. So that would be a reverse mortgage. That would cause a loss of equity. But it's not necessarily what I consider a cost of home ownership because you asked for it. Does that help? Good. Okay. Yay. And Stacy, you said I rescheduled my exam from July 11th to August 2nd. I just didn't feel ready and didn't want to have to fail. Okay. Well, then, Stacy, we'll get you ready. We will get you ready. Now, if anybody is, I should mention this. If you are available tomorrow, that's not how you spell tomorrow, at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you come back to this YouTube page, I'm going to be doing math. I'm going to be doing basic math skills. So that's just, I'm doing it for my class that I'm teaching, but I figured I'd make it open to you all too. So I have to do it for a class I've got, and if you want to join me, you're welcome to. All right, let's go back to our questions. All right. If the owners pay off what the owner owes, what happens at that point? Oh, that's a great question. Great question. So what happens is when they sell the house, the heirs would take that, helps if I spell it right, I spelled it right, didn't I? H-E-I-R-S. There we go. The heirs would say, hey, we're going to pay off the $51,000. That goes to the bank. And then they keep the $399,000. And then they'll split that up however it needs to be within the heirs. Right? You're going to have to go through this with your dad. Well, you know what? That's what I love. That's what I love about real estate class. Maybe you go through all this and you go, I don't really want to sell real estate. Did you learn something? Will you take all this knowledge that you all are getting from doing all this and be able to apply it to your life, your parents' life, a friend, a family member? Like, you're getting real estate knowledge, and that's what's important. All right, let's move on. Our next question. And it is, What do liens and easements have in common? What do liens and easements have in common? You said you want to sell, and yes, you're learning a ton. Yay, I love that. Is it A, both are encumbrances? B, both must be on public record to be valid? C, both are money claims against the property? Or D, neither can be done without consent of the owner? All right, you giving me some strong A's here. We got A's, we got A's. Lots of A's. Right now, again, if you don't know, you can put in an E or just put your answer in. You know, sometimes as a group, we don't all answer correctly, and then I fix it. You know, we go through and talk about it, but it's a thing. But so far, A's, 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 A's. It's not as catchy as bees in the trap, bees, bees in the trap. But we do have A-yo, A-yo. Okay, I'm just being silly now. A's. All right, let's see if you all are correct. Is the answer both are encumbrances? Survey says, hey, the answer's A. The answer's A. Hey, the answer's A. Do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance, do a little dance. Hey, 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 hey. Now, the answer most definitely was A, and I do think everybody put the right answer in the chat. But if you need me to explain, just put that in the chat as well, and I will. But if we're all understanding, then I'm going to move on. Doug, you said you take your California exam Friday. You're very nervous about the trick questions and obscure material. Well, think of it this way, Doug. It's not that it's a trick question so much as they are testing you on the details. They want to make sure that when you are reading the details in the questions or the answer choices, you catch the differences, just like when you're reading a contract. So I don't like to consider them trick questions as I do their detailed questions, right? Does the list of encumbrances vary by state? In my California books, I can't find a pre-existing leases and lis pendens as an encumbrance. Well, it shouldn't vary by state. Now, your state might not talk about those things. And I will tell you, in my state, we don't include pre-existing leases or lis pendens as an encumbrance, but it is. They are encumbrances. It's just, I could probably make the list go a little bit longer. That's just cohesively across a number of states. Those are some of the states add that. But it is an encumbrance because think about it. If you have a pre-existing lease, if you buy a house that is already leased out, then you don't get to live there until that lease is ending, which means you did not get your full bundle of rights, and that is the definition of an encumbrance. So there you go. All right. Yeah, it is. The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details, Doug. I know. All right, let's try this one. Of the following, which would most nearly refer to the loss in value due to economic obsolescence? Ooh, good one. Of the following, which would most likely nearly refer to the loss in value due to economic obsolescence? Is it A, a change in nearby zoning? Is it B, an architectural design which is declining in popularity? Is it C, an increased demand for larger units? Or is it D, poor management of the property? What say you? All right, I got A's. I got A's. We like this question, A's. I see you getting answers right there, Miss Deborah. I see you. I see you. And you too, Miss Caroline. Margaret says A. Trick says A. Fritzy. Miss Fritzy says A. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. It's not going to hurt you. All right. A. Let's see. Is our answer A? Oh, is it Danger? I don't know if I said that right, but it's pretty spelling, however it's said. However you say it. All right. So, is it A, a change in nearby zoning? Boom, shakalaka laka, boom. Yes, our answer is A. But why Well, because we know economic obsolescence. When you're looking at the cost approach in an appraisal, you can have depreciation. It could be because of physical deterioration. The physical condition of the property is not great, so you don't get as much money for it. It could be from functional obsolescence. The function of the property is outdated. Think about having like a tape player in a car and not a CD, at least a CD player, or the ability to Bluetooth in. Functionally it works, but it's not the newest and greatest. People are probably going to want something different. That's functional obsolescence. And then we have economic obsolescence, which is it is something about the surrounding area that is causing a loss of value. It's not about the house itself. It's about the surrounding area, something that the homeowner can't control. That is economic obsolescence, and we know economic obsolescence is always considered incurable. I see you, Elena. I see you. Is it like downzoning? Well, downzoning could be economic obsolescence because, it's something about the area got changed, and I would probably put economic obsolescence or put downzoning in economics obsolescence. I can get the words out. I can. There we go. All right. We're good? That was a good question, y'all. That's a good question. Let's try the next one. A real estate broker is representing a seller and knows that the property has a crack in the foundation and that the previous owner committed suicide in the house. Which of the following must the broker disclose? You guys smart. I see you, Stefan. A real estate broker is representing a seller and knows that the property has a crack in the foundation and that the previous owner committed suicide in the house. Which of the following must the broker disclose? That means 3 of these things the broker does not have to disclose, and 1 of them the broker will always have to disclose. So is it, well, almost sine quarta. Sort of, kind of is what I'm trying to say. The suicide, both facts, the crack foundation only, or neither fact must be disclosed. So they didn't give us 4 options, but okay. The suicide, both facts, the cracked foundation only, or neither fact must be disclosed. All right. So, all right. And let me just say this, guys. You all in California are exactly right. In California, deaths within 3 years have to be disclosed, but not the type of death. Absolutely correct. And so this is a type of question, guys, I would tell you, I'm on the national practice questions. For most states in the United States, you don't have to disclose death. However, in California, you do have to disclose death within 3 years, but not the type. Okay, we know that. So we're going to look at this not just for California, but in general for the state, for like all states, and generally the cracked foundation only. This is where you take your practice questions with a grain of salt. Most states, it's just the cracked foundation only. But if you're in a state and your pre-licensing teacher was like, hey, by the way, you do have to disclose deaths, then you go with that answer for your state question, for your questions, right? It just depends. Yeah, it said in Illinois that does not need to be disclosed. Yes. But the suicide should only be disclosed if it's happened within 3 years of the listing date. Yeah, and so my understanding for California law, now again, I'm not licensed, is that you have to tell them the death happened, but you don't have to tell them by suicide, right? Disclosing of a death is more of a moral thing. Well, yeah, I mean, it's my commission, or I should say in North Carolina where I'm licensed, they say you're not in trouble if you do tell it. You're not in trouble if you don't tell it. You just can't lie about it. So every state commission or licensing board, the association, they all kind of look at it somewhat differently. But in general, you're always going to have to talk about that crack foundation. All righty. Let's go to our next one. See, random. Let's see what this one is. A license gives you the right to engage in a certain act. When you are given the right to cross a property, you have a license. Which of the following would cause the termination of a license to cross a private property? All right. I think what they're trying to say is, personally, you like the ghost. I mean, does the ghost have access to, tomorrow's winning lottery numbers? Because, I mean, are they paying any bills? Because if I'm cold and I had to turn up the heat because there's a ghost in there, I'm going to need them to get a job. You got to have a job if you want to haunt with me. I'm a mess. All right. I think this question would be better written as, a license gives you the right to engage in a certain act. If you are given the right to cross a property via a license, which of the following would cause the termination of the license to cross the private property? Is it A, the person with the license didn't use it for 1 year? Is it B, the property was sold? Is it C, the person with the license didn't use it for 6 months? Or D, the person with the license didn't use it for 2 years? All right, Donjay, again, I hope I'm not butchering your name. You're giving me an E, but I've got some B's. I got B's. I'm going to get something to drink. All right. We got B's. Let's see if our answer, in fact, is B. That's where most of you all went that answered the question. Well, everybody who had an answer. B. Stacy's giving me a B. All right, let's see if it's B, the property was sold. Survey says, yes, the answer is B. Love it. Yes, very good. The answer is B. If a property is sold, any licenses end. That's why a license is not an encumbrance. Remember, an encumbrance is something that limits your bundle of rights. And if you buy a property that has a license, the license ends and it's not bothering you anymore. Okay? Now, if you have a license or you have an easement, it really doesn't matter if you stop using it. You have the right to use it. Think of your driver's license. Just because you haven't driven in 4 years doesn't mean your license is expired now. Now, if it expired, that's different. But if it was still in theory valid, you hadn't reached the expiration date, doesn't matter you haven't driven in 4 years. You're still a licensed driver and you can continue until, whenever. In this case, since we're talking about properties, until the property is sold, or if it's a license, till the expiration date. A license is not an appurtenance. Exactly. It is not an appurtenance either. Very good. Good job, Doug. All right, are we ready for the next one? Are you ready? Gladiators ready? I'm ready. Let's see. What's this one? Which appraisal category license allows an appraiser to appraise residential property of 1 unit to 4 units without regard to transaction value or complexity? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead. Not every state asks you about the different types of appraisals because not every state has different types of appraisers like this. So I'm going to just go ahead and skip on this. Oh, hello, Dahlia. You were waiting on Prep Agent. Yeah, it cut off. Sorry, Dahlia. So what happens is when I log in to do a live on YouTube, in order to, once I log on and then it ended, if I logged back on, it would think it was for tomorrow's, and then it messes up all of the dates. So once it kicked me off and it said it was ended, and it was weird, it was being weird anyway, I came over to my channel so I could still answer questions for you, but not ruin Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, appointment times or things. So there you go. But you'll be able to watch this in review if you want to. Right? Yusuf, you passed today. What? Oh my gosh, I don't think I was ready with my sound effects in this new thing. Let me find it. There you go. Look, you all can see this is how I do my sounds, but we'll put it back. And
good job, good job. Good job, good job. G-O-O-D-J-O-B. Good job, good job.
Hey, and
my money don't jiggle, jiggle, it falls. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure.
There we go. Yes, I'm so proud of you, Yusuf. I'm so glad you found the 5-hour video helpful. Oh, I love that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, what's the 5-hour video? Let's see. How can I show it to you? Oh, here let's just go here. So if Yeah, I was talking about chocolate souffles in my class today. Don't judge. Don't judge. But if you go to my channel, if you go to my channel where you are now, oh, there it is. You're going to see this thing that says critical real estate exam vocab. Let me just pause there so you don't hear it. But this is what that is. This is a 5-hour video. I will put this in the chat for you, and I go over the major topics. But there you go. That's what that is. Putting it in the chat. Oh, good. You like the 5-hour video? Yes. I'm going to try to do an updated one where it's not like I might break it down into here's one section, here's one section, here's one section, you know, just do it again. In fact, I probably need to work on that. So maybe maybe I could get 5 to 7 different people. One person I do agency with and they answer those questions like that. One person I do, finance with. So when I get some time, I'd like to do that. Oh, good. I'm glad you all like it. The goal is to pass, y'all. That's why I do this. That's why I like tomorrow, 7 p.m., I'm going to help my students with basic math. But the people that pay have pre-licensing courses with me. But I know some of y'all are like, hey, I wouldn't mind a review on some of this basic math skills, like how to work with different things, how to, manipulate percentages and decimals. Why not offer it to you all too, right? You can't wait for the next math video. The last one I did was so helpful. Oh, you mean like on how to use a T-bar? I could put another one up. I could put another one up. All right, let's do the next one. Let's do this. Holographic wills cannot be what? Holographic wills cannot be, is it A, written in anything other than ink? B, none of the other options are correct? C, signed with an X? Or D, written with colored ink? Let's see. Oh, Stacy, if you go, did you all see the link? Did the link come up in my chat? I put it in there. Let me see. Did the link come up? Do I need to do it again? I don't know if the link came up. I put it in the chat, but I think I have it so I cannot put it in the chat. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Stacy, just go to my video and just look for this title. I don't think the system is going to let me put a web address in there. But if you look for critical real estate exam vocab, it won't let me put the link in. Just look for that. Otherwise, I wish I could. I thought I put it in the chat, but it didn't go through. It's not letting me. So somebody asked me what a holographic will is. What is a holographic will? That's the key to getting this question right. What does it mean if it's a holographic will? Ooh. Okay, Dina says written by hand. Yeah, Stacy said no link. Yeah, I'm sorry, Stacy. I'm sorry. I wish I could. But if you email me, Aaron, I'll put my email. Let's see if my email will go through. If you email me, I can send you the link as well. CandiceEllis@gmail.com. I don't know if that went through, but if it did, you can always email me. I'll send you the link. Handwritten in right. That's right. It's handwritten. You said you learned about it, but it's one of those that didn't sink in very well. You know what, Stefan? Here's the thing. As a real estate agent, why are we even dealing with holographic wills? Like for reals? If you're dealing with a will, there better be a title person or an attorney involved. I'm not even quite sure why we teach you about this, but okay. Since it could be tested on, I'm telling you, but in real life, you're probably not going to use it. I will say this. It's one of those things, if you just need to know the basics, like now that we're reviewing it today, if we get it stuck in your head a little bit, that's fine, and then you should be done with it. So our answer that a lot of you all were telling me was C. And guess what, guys? That's it. So you said, Stefan, you think that about a lot of these subjects? I agree and I don't agree. Here's why. Sometimes people will say, I took pre-licensing and I don't use anything I learned in there. Yes, you do. Are you explaining agency relationships? Did you sign an agency contract? Are you helping people fill out a purchase contract? Are you able to describe what zoning is? Are you able to talk about what a CMA is and why it's important and why an appraisal is important? All of those are things that we learn in class, especially when I have like 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, people under 24. They didn't know some of that stuff if they've never paid rent or had credit card or had a house payment. So you do end up using the stuff we learn in pre-licensing. It just doesn't feel like it. Kind of like you don't think about the fact you use fractions in measuring stuff, like in measuring cups and measuring spoons, but you do. But some of the details I don't think you'll use. I'll be honest. Right? So let's see. Signed with an X, and yes, just as an explanation, since a holographic will is handwritten, that's the definition. There's no reason why you should be signing with an X. You should be able to sign your name. If you could have written the will, you could have written your name out, so it cannot be signed with an X. Boom. All right, let's move on to our next one. Let's see what the random next one is. Ooh. The lender is required under RESPA to provide a detailed loan estimate statement at the time of loan application or within 3 business days to whom? The lender is required under RESPA to provide a detailed loan estimate statement at the time of loan application or within 3 business days to, is it neither the buyer nor the seller? Is it the seller? Is it the buyer and the seller? Or is it the buyer? A, B, C, or D? Put that answer in the chat. Let's see. What do we have here? I got D's, D's, D's. I got a C. I got a D. I got a D. I got a D. I got a D. And you know, if it is a D, wait, where's my sound effects? Here it is. Had to find my sound effects, guys. I think I showed you all my sound effects. This is my sound effects board. Somebody asked me every so often, y'all will be like, how did you do the sound effects? That's not the sound effects board. I don't know what that was. Well, I just broke it. I just broke it. I was going to play our song, but I just broke it. Well, there we go. Continue. So, if it's D, and this is how I do it.
Under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Yep, that's how I do it. But let's go back to our questions now. So, is our answer D? Boop. Now you got to see my board. Is it D? Let's see. Cool. Look, if y'all have some sound effects you want me to use, just don't send them to me. Of course, the answer is D. Remember, this relates to TRID. And when TRID came into, I'm going to say into power, but when we started to have to follow TRID, we basically put the buyer's loan information on lockdown. Neither the bank or the agent or anybody can share detailed information about that buyer's loan to anybody without the buyer's permission. So they only are required to give that loan estimate to the buyer. And remember, TRID stands for TILA, Truth in Lending, RESPA, Integrated Disclosure. You know you are going to be tested on TRID, RESPA, TILA. You know that you know that you know. You know this. So make sure you study it. Not just a couple things about it. What does each one say? What are the things that are, what's the word I'm looking for when it's not included? Exemptions. What are the punishments for it? Like all of those things. You know you're going to be tested on TILA, RESPA, and TRID. Know it cold. All right, let's see. Let's do another one that is just a guess. It's not me pre-preparing. No, not that one. Okay, here we go. An appraiser was hired by Joe to appraise Bill's property. Cool. With whom should the appraiser discuss his findings? An appraiser was hired by Joe to appraise Bill's property. With whom should the appraiser discuss his findings? Is it A, any party willing to pay? Is it B, Joe? Is it C, Bill? Or is it D, any interested party? What say you? I got a B, I got a D, I got a B, I got a B, I got a B. Oh, hey, Dominique. She gave me the B. We got Doug with B, Stefan with B, Elena with B. Just take a guess. What's the worst you can be? Wrong. Under the sea. That's not the B one we're looking for. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. All right, we got more B's coming in here. Anybody else with an answer or guess? Excuse me. Let's see if our answer is B, Joe. Boom, shakalaka laka boom. Yes, our answer is Joe. First of all, any party willing to pay, I don't even think so. I don't think so. If the appraiser was hired by Joe to appraise Bill's property, that's Joe's report. If Bill wants an appraisal, Bill should pay for his own appraisal. The appraiser should not be giving Bill what Joe paid for. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Joe would be, Joe would be the interested party. So Bill, it's Bill's property, but Joe is clearly maybe buying it. That means the appraiser was hired by Joe. The appraiser needs to report to Joe. Does that make sense, Stefan? I don't know if I said it wrong. I might have, but I'm hoping that makes sense. Right? Again, if Bill wants to know what Bill's property is worth, Bill needs to hire and pay for an appraisal. I don't owe it to you. So it's not any interested party because it's, you know who is an interested party? Bill. Because he owns the property, but he doesn't have the right to the appraisal. If you want the appraisal, then you need to pay for the appraisal. Doesn't mean you have to be an owner, but you have to be the person who paid and had an interest in the property. Does that make sense, Stefan? Hopefully so. Let me know if it doesn't, and we can go over it some more. Yes, so not any interested party who pays, but I can't just say, hey, I wonder how much Stefan's house is worth and hire an appraisal. Joe in this has equitable title. He has the right to claim title later. So he is an interested party, one, and he needs to have to pay for the appraisal. Both of those things need to be true. All right, you ready for the next one? I kind of like this. Let's do a random question. Let's see. Ooh. Which of the following is not a characteristic of a conventional loan? Which of the following is not a characteristic of a conventional loan? Is it A, security rests on the borrower's ability to pay and the collateral pledged? B, it is neither insured nor guaranteed by a public agency? C, the ratio of the loan to the value of the property usually does not exceed 80% without private mortgage insurance? Or D, it is never insured by a private agency? Ah, Stefan, you've not learned this yet. Okay, that's okay. Take a guess. I mean, you never know. I'll explain it, of course, but take a guess. Why not? What are we thinking? We got a D. We got B's. Stefan said you want to say D. All right, well, let's break it down, guys. This is saying which of the following is not a characteristic. So that means 3 of these are characteristics and 1 is not. So let's break it down. Is it true that security rests on a borrower's ability to pay and collateral pledged? Is that true about a conventional loan? And the answer is yes, that is true. Remember, our definition of a conventional loan is one that the government is not insuring or guaranteeing. So yeah, the only way the bank can make sure they get their money back is by putting a lien on the property or making the borrower sign a deed of trust. So that is true. That is not our answer. Well, our next answer says it is neither insured nor guaranteed by a public agency. I just told you that's the definition of a conventional loan, one that is not insured or guaranteed by the government. So yeah, that is a characteristic of a conventional loan. That's not our answer. Then we got C. The ratio of the loan to the market value usually does not exceed 80% without private mortgage insurance. And that is true as well. Because a bank does not have any kind of backing from the government for a conventional loan, they're just looking at the house for collateral. Banks will say, oh, are you borrowing more than 80%? We need you to buy us some private mortgage insurance. That too is a true statement, which means by elimination, D has to be correct. It is never insured by a private agency. Well, that's not true. If you borrow more than 80%, you're probably going to have to pay mortgage insurance. That's not a true statement, making D our right answer. Boom shakalaka laka boom. There we go. Love it. All right, guys, it's about 5 o'clock. I got to get ready for my 5 o'clock. Is anyone else's live time out? You all can't see me? I don't know. Did I lose you all? I hope not. Did I lose you? Let's see. Did I lose you? Oh, nope, there you are. Okay, maybe that was just Antonio. Guys, I gotta go. Join me tomorrow, of course, for the Prep Agent webinar. And then if you want to come tomorrow night at 7 here, just like you are here now, tomorrow at 7, I'll be doing basic math, general stuff like how to deal with decimals and percentages, when to divide and multiply, and what to do with those stinking fractions and percentages. So that's tomorrow. It's free. Just join me. And guys, I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully, YouTube is not acting a fool. Bye, everybody. See you next time. Bye.